I learned something new just about every single time that I do these doggone lives. Apparently, if you don't hit the start button on Instagram, it starts it for you, which is awesome. So, right about now, notifications are going out to everyone. I'm seeing all my emails come through that lets me know that we are live here on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Clubhouse. And as those notifications come in, I am going to be sharing that so that my news feed can get in on today's video, especially because I know for a fact that we have plenty of business owners who are married. And tonight, we're going to be talking all about that. So while I am getting this video shared, I welcome you to do the same. I welcome you to tag and invite anyone who you feel like would benefit from tonight's video, also those that can add value to the video. Because as you all know, I'm not here to be right. I am here to be heard and get the conversation started. Hey, Ken here on Instagram. Always good to see you joining us. So one more share and then we are going to get started because you know I don't like to keep you guys long. And share. Boom. Got to share it everywhere. So, welcome everybody to Sex, Love, and Marriage. I am your favorite life coach and certified clinical sexologist, Kanya Ford, but you can call me Coach K, where every single Tuesday night I am bringing you a different topic that deals with all things sex, love, and marriage. Why? Because I always like to have these conversations going. So, as we go through these conversations, I welcome you and I encourage you to share the video, tag people who can add value to the video. And of course, if you're catching this after the fact, hey, Tasia Sellers, one for joining us here on Instagram. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And also, if you're catching that replay, hashtag replay and let me know your thoughts because they do matter to me. So tonight we are going to be talking about the balance of entrepreneurship and marriage. Now, before we dive deep into this, I want to do our announcements and get those out of the way so that we are not interrupted later on. So I'm really excited because today I just opened registration for the third annual Fools in Love Couples Retreat. Yay! So we only take 5 couples. So with registration being open, you can be one of 5 lucky couples that gets to come to this year's annual retreat where we're going to focus on truth, trust, and transparency, sex and intimacy, and of course, communication. So head over to foolsinlove2023.eventbrite.com or just shoot me a message and I'll get you the clickable link. Ladies, 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 and ladies again, the second annual Own Your Ish Sis Ladies Retreat registration is open. Payment plans are still available through July the 10th. So you want to get some away time, some healing time, some growth, some stretching, some just empowerment and getting in tune with yourself. I encourage you to get your spot. I am only taking 10 ladies for that ladies retreat. You can either come by yourself and have a 2-bedroom suite to yourself, or you can bunk with someone else. So double occupancy as well as single occupancy is available. To get your seat for that, you can go to Own Your Ish Sis 2022.eventbrite.com, or again, shoot me a message and I'll send you the clickable link. Payment plans for that is available until July 10th. Actually, the payment plans for the other one is longer. But anyway, let's get into this. Oh, and don't forget about Date Night RVA, y'all. Date Night RVA membership is still available. Go to datenightrva.net. Okay, y'all see I'm trying to dig into this, right? Because I'm ready to get into this. The balance of entrepreneurship and marriage. So If anyone has ever been married, which if you're in the group Sex, Love, and Marriage, then you know. If you've even been in a committed relationship, you know that it takes a lot of time, patience, dedication, learning, strength, opening up to your vulnerabilities. It takes a lot to build, nourish, and have, excuse me, a successful and healthy relationship and marriage. So let's put that on the shelf. We talked about that, right? If you've ever been an entrepreneur, you know it takes a lot of time, patience, knowledge, effort, stretching, growing. Basically, everything that I named about a marriage and relationship is what you would need into entrepreneurship, in addition to the finances. We kind of need all of that into one. And if I'm thinking about the true total list of entrepreneurship and marriage or committed relationship, each time it doesn't really go off kilter. They both have a very heavy amount of weight to them. So, can you imagine taking the weight of these two full time events and meshing them into one and then placing them on your shoulders? That can be quite a bit of a lot. I have seen where some entrepreneurs prefer not to, at some point, even entertain the idea of having a relationship because it just gets too heavy. It can be a lot of work. I was watching a show one day, and the guy was saying because the husband and wife were kind of not having a great communication relationship. They weren't communicating well. And she was talking about him working, working, working. Hey, my boo just entered the room on Clubhouse, my husband. And when she was talking about that, he said, well, it sounds like your husband has a second wife. And then she looked like, what? And he was like, yeah, as an entrepreneur or business owner. And so I'm like, that's probably the equivalent. If you are, let me back up just a little bit because I also want to make sure that we are fully aware of what all things mean. There's a difference between an entrepreneur and a business owner. I will not say that the responsibility and the weight and the work that has to be done is totally different. They're just not the same on the same scale. So I want to just go through that real quick. So an entrepreneur is someone who creates their own company from an original idea. They typically manage all aspects of this company that's formed. So they are the marketer, they are the content creator, they're the HR, the janitor, they're the product developer, they're the promoter. They are the it of this thing. And they typically focus on innovation, which means that they're trying to create a product or service from ground zero. A business owner is someone who owns a business that offers a product or service. This person could have taken over a business that was already established, or they can open up a business of their own from a known product or service. So this person of a business owner, they can do pretty much market research pretty easily by looking at other and similar products and services, where an entrepreneur is starting from ground zero. And what makes it a little bit more difficult in the entrepreneurship world is because this is a new product or service, you're almost double time selling the product to your audience. You may have done the research, but you still have to garner and gain the trust of that audience to want the product or service that they didn't even know that they may need. And so, knowing this, an entrepreneur has an extra of weight that's added to it. So, when you're trying to run a household and a marriage, And I always say, in a marriage, the parents, the two partners, are the CEOs of the household. So if you're the CEO of the household and you're also the CEO and owner of your own company that you're actively developing and creating, you're actively running and developing two genuinely deep relationships simultaneously towards growth, development, and success. So, just as you begin to plant your seeds and grow your family, start to have children, you start to maybe have family pets, you start to buy a home. As you're doing these things in your marriage, you're doing it equally with just different things in that entrepreneurship space. You're planting seeds, you're going out and growing your business. You're having your hand in every single aspect of the business because just like you would raise a child and be very active in that marital home with your partner, you're doing the same in the entrepreneur space. So, how do we balance this? And especially if your partner may not be an entrepreneur. So, let's talk about that. It's not often that there are two entrepreneurs in one household. And seeing as though a majority of us from wee little were taught to go out and work for a company, get a job, try to work your way up into that company and become, the top of this company, the mindset of most people are that of an employee. You know that there's a steady income coming in, and you learn about this product or service that you're selling of this company, and you do the best at it. You're just the face of this company that belongs to someone else. So you don't have a great deal of responsibility. If the company goes belly up, you'll probably get some kind of severance and you can go to another job. So enter this entrepreneur into your world. This entrepreneur doesn't look at things the same as an employee because as an entrepreneur, you are the person that this employee is saying, oh, I'm not worried if they go belly up. Where the entrepreneur is like, oh crap, if I go belly up, then that's my whole world. So take these two mindsets and put them into the same household as a married couple that already have the regular marital qualms and hiccups that come along with learning and growing and stretching with each other. And if not done delicately, with patience, with time, with consistency, and with understanding, will absolutely crush, crumble, and break the marriage apart. It comes with a great deal of time management, a great deal of communication, a great deal of respect, and a great deal of understanding. I might have already said that, not sure, but I'm saying it again. It's not for you as the entrepreneur to convince your partner of your value and worth in that entrepreneurship journey. Convincing someone is not the same as helping them to understand. If you're busy convincing them to see your side of this entrepreneurship world and why you're not at home enough, or why you're not spending time with them, or why you're taking everything that you have and putting into this thing that doesn't look like it's going anywhere. If you're taking that time to convince, then you're not helping them to understand. In my personal life, I've been an employee from the age of 11, when I was working in my granddaddy's catering business, when you got paid that little $5 and you did all the work, but it was okay. It was your first job. So from early on, I worked, and I worked up until about May 7th, 2020 was the last time that I worked for any company. My husband from early on has worked. His dad has always had his own business, so he's worked. He not only worked in his family's business, but he's worked outside of the business as well. So we both grew up as employees. We both worked. At some point, I no longer wanted to work for people. And so I jumped into the entrepreneurship world. While still working, my husband still worked, and it was communication, open, transparent, understanding, patient communication that allowed us to get to the point where we are today, where we are both an entrepreneur and a business owner. My husband is a business owner. I am an entrepreneur. And while those two things have similar characteristics, they are different, but it does help that we were able to, before he took that leap of business ownership, we communicated heavily because it was up to me to ensure that I didn't assume what he knew, and I didn't assume that he had the same passion as I did for my entrepreneurship role. Listen to what I'm saying. I did not assume, and that will be your downfall in many instances. The assumption that your partner, because you all are married, shares the same sentiments about your entrepreneurship journey as you cannot do that. They can support you because there's a difference. My husband has always supported me. And so when he didn't understand different things, it was okay because that just meant that I needed to do a better job at explaining and communicating why this is so, why I do these things. An entrepreneur is open to taking more risk than a business owner because an entrepreneur is more of an innovator, and they're looking for ways to make their target audience's life much better. They're looking to create that product or service that fits into that tiny little hole that's missing in the world. And so they're open to taking those risks and taking different avenues to get there. A business owner is not so open to those risks because of what they may actually lose in the process. An entrepreneur have built all of the pieces that they may lose. So if they're taking that risk, they may say, oh, I might lose X, Y, and Z. Well, I know how to recreate that because I created before. I'm going to take that risk. Whereas a business owner, some of those structures are already set in place and they're not willing to undo that. And so because we stay in constant communication, because when we're available to be in each other's face in either his business or on my entrepreneurship journey, you're able to see firsthand how things work on the inside. And that's not to say that your partner will fully understand everything, thoroughly, where they can one day just run it for you, but they have a visual and understanding because they're able to see you at work. Open, honest, transparent communication is truly the key to balancing marriage and entrepreneurship. And what I mean by that is, if you are the partner that's not the entrepreneur, being okay to say, I would like for you to carve out a little bit more time for me. Because just like that entrepreneur cannot assume that you know and understand everything about that business that they're doing, you cannot assume that your partner knows when you need more attention or more of whatever it is. You must be okay with speaking up and saying, I feel as though we're not spending enough time together. Or I would like for us to do X, Y, and Z. I feel as though you're doing too much in this aspect. Now, just because you say it doesn't mean it's going to happen, right? But as a responsible response, when it cannot happen, that entrepreneur should be able to say to you, I hear you, I understand. And for the next maybe 2 weeks, I know I won't have a large allotment of time. However, every time that I can get in, I will. But I do know for a fact that during this third week, I'm completely free. And I'm going to mark out these 2 days just for us. It's okay to schedule time. I will say in entrepreneurship, things are up and down. So, scheduling time sometimes is not always the best. But here's another thing that I will offer you. Appreciate the times that you do spend together. Don't use the times that you are together to focus on the times that you were not together. Because if you're wasting that precious time that you do get to spend together on what did not happen, you're filling that with negativity, then it will consistently feel like you're not getting your needs met. And that is where that communication just breaks down. That is where our intimacy bank starts taking out withdrawals versus having deposits. That's where our trust bank starts having withdrawals instead of having deposits. The balance of marriage and entrepreneurship does take boundaries being set. And those boundaries being set does come with open, honest, transparent, patient understanding and communication. There are going to be some times where you have to just wrap yourself in bubble wrap and say, don't touch me or I'll pop. That does not mean retreat completely from your marriage, because we're all human beings and we want to feel desired. We want to be wanted. We want to be talked to. We want to be loved. We want to feel appreciated. Because while you're the entrepreneur and you're working and you're investing time and money and you're doing all of these things, your partner is doing the same investment with just something different. Their time. If there's money coming into the household, they're also investing their money. And so you're both investing in this thing just differently. So don't get frustrated with your partner when they don't understand why you're doing these things, why you're never at home, why you're always on your computer, why you're always X, Y, and Z, or when they come to you and say, I need you, don't get frustrated. Take a deep breath, step back, put the shoe on the other foot, and communicate back. Hey, they want to spend time with you. That's a great thing. They're not just asking for the hell of it. They miss you. They don't understand it. Again, majority of us grew up as employees. So we don't understand the building of a business that the entrepreneur goes through. Some don't understand the dangers, the time and dedication that comes with a business owner. A business owner has to be present at all times. A business owner has to be responsible at all times. A business owner has to know when to be nice, be firm. It takes a lot. And so in order to balance that, you really have to have that patience and understanding, trust and transparency. That is going to be the key to balancing marriage and entrepreneurship. So we are coming up on 25 minutes after the hour. And you guys know that I don't like to keep you here too long. Of course, if you have any questions or if you want to add to the chat, please feel free to do so. If you are catching the replay, hashtag replay, share your thoughts. If you are someone that is in that situation where you're trying to find that balance of, business ownership or entrepreneurship and marriage, trying to be the CEO of the household and the CEO of your own company, and you're not quite able to have those conversations like you like to, definitely feel free to reach out, schedule some time with me so we can talk that through. So I can give you some communication tips and pointers so that you can have those conversations effectively with your partner. As a business owner, if you are in a place of I'm just kind of stuck, I'm spinning my wheels, I offer you to get enrolled in the 3 weeks to launch business boot camp that's coming up in August the 25th. You can shoot me a text and ask me more about that 3 weeks to launch, or you can go to 3 weeks to launch August, 3 weeks to launch August.eventbrite.com. Get yourself registered right now. You can do it in person or you can do it via Zoom. It's truly 3 weeks of me giving you very solid business foundation, and we're launching your business in 3 weeks, no matter where you are in your business. All of those things that I just talk about balancing, it's weeding through I don't know if I have this, I don't know if this is right. It's weeding through that, getting to a solid foundational place so that you can start creating balance, because we do talk about that in the 3 weeks to launch business boot camp. So I do thank you guys for joining me for another sex, love, and marriage discussion, where we are here every single Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Clubhouse. And very soon, guys, you're going to have to come on over to YouTube and catch all of these videos, because I will probably only going live on YouTube pretty soon. So make sure you head over there, search Coach K 101. So if you go to youtube.com/Coach K, COACHKAY 101, subscribe so you know exactly when I'm going live, so we can talk interactively throughout that entire time. Subscribe to that, share it and like it. Next week is going to be a good topic, y'all. And it's right after the 4th of July holiday. I don't know if y'all celebrating or not. Not my business. Next week's topic is, do you want to be fed or do you want to be fucked? Whoop, did I say it out loud? I did. So we're going to talk about almost kind of what we did today. And I know some of you are going to be like, well, why can't you do both? We're going to talk about it next week, y'all. So we're going to talk about those duties in the bedroom and in the household for both parties. That's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the platform you're watching. I encourage you to come on over to YouTube, subscribe to that channel, Coach K 101. Check out all of the different programs that I just told you about. And ladies, don't forget about Self-Care Sundays are starting on July 10th. We have some amazing women that are coming in to cater to you. If you need to reach me, you can reach out right here on the platforms you're watching me at, or 804-967-4551. You all have an amazing night. I'm going home to rub my baby's back because he has been driving all day, and I know that it's probably hurting, and I miss him. My baby. because I know he's still watching. All right, y'all. Have a good night, and I will see you later.